Disclaimer: the content presented here aims to shed light on Native Americans' untold history, spanning from their rich and diverse cultures to the devastating impacts of colonization. While every effort has been made to ensure the accuracy and respectfulness of the information provided, this discussion cannot fully capture the depth and complexity of Native American histories, traditions, and experiences. We recognize that Native American cultures are incredibly diverse. They represent hundreds of unique tribes and nations, each with their own distinct languages, customs, and histories. This content is intended to foster awareness, understanding, and respect for Native American heritage, while addressing the historical injustices that have shaped their past and continue to impact their present. The discussion of colonization and its effects may include sensitive topics such as genocide, forced displacement, cultural erasure, and systemic oppression. These are difficult but necessary conversations to have in order to acknowledge historical truths and promote healing and reconciliation. We encourage viewers to approach this subject with an open mind and heart. We invite you to learn more by engaging with resources created by Native American scholars, leaders, and communities. Their voices are vital in preserving and honoring their stories. This content is for educational purposes only and is not intended to replace firsthand knowledge shared by Native communities. We stand in solidarity with Indigenous peoples and strive to amplify their voices and contributions to the broader understanding of history and culture. Long ago, before the United States was a country, Native Americans lived in this land. They were the original inhabitants, thriving in diverse environments across the continent. They were not just one group, but many different tribes with their own customs and languages. Each tribe had its own unique identity, traditions, and ways of life. Each tribe had a unique way of life, like pieces of a beautiful, colorful quilt spread across the land. This quilt represented the rich cultural diversity and the intricate social fabric of Native American societies. Some tribes lived in forests where they hunted, gathered, and built their homes from the abundant wood. Others thrived in deserts, adapting to the harsh conditions with remarkable ingenuity. And some by the sea, where they became skilled fishermen and navigators, relying on the ocean for sustenance and trade. They learned to live in harmony with nature, respecting the animals, plants, and the earth itself. Their sustainable practices ensured that they could thrive for generations without depleting their resources. Their history is a rich tapestry woven with stories of courage, wisdom, and a deep connection to their ancestral lands. Elders pass down these stories, teaching the young about their heritage, values, and the importance of living in balance with the world around them. Ceremonies, dances, and rituals played a crucial role in their communities, serving as a means to honor their ancestors, celebrate the changing seasons, and seek guidance from the spiritual world. Their art, pottery, and crafts were not just beautiful, but also functional, reflecting their deep understanding of the materials they used and their connection to the land. Many tribes were skilled farmers, cultivating crops like corn, beans, and squash. They developed advanced agricultural techniques, such as crop rotation and irrigation, to ensure bountiful harvests. Trade was also an essential part of their lives. Tribes exchanged goods, knowledge, and culture along extensive trade routes that span the continent, fostering connections and alliances. They were also fierce defenders of their territories, with warriors who protected their people and lands from external threats. Their bravery and strategic prowess were legendary. Spirituality was deeply ingrained in their daily lives. Sacred sites, rituals, and ceremonies connected them to the spiritual realm, guiding their actions and decisions. Community gatherings were times of joy and unity, where they shared food, stories, and laughter, strengthening the bonds that held their societies together. Today, Native American communities continue to preserve their traditions, honoring their ancestors and passing down their rich heritage to future generations. Their resilience and enduring spirit are a testament to their profound connection to this land, a land that was their home long before America was born. Welcome again to this incredible journey. Before we dive in, I'd like to extend a personal invitation to be part of something special. By clicking the subscribe button and giving this video a thumbs up, you're helping us grow and share this experience with even more people. But why stop there? Click the Join button below to become a valued member of our exclusive community. Membership unlocks behind-the-scenes content, early access to new videos, and even the opportunity to influence the future direction of our channel. Join today and connect with fellow adventurers, enjoy exciting perks, and help us create even more extraordinary content together. The story of the first Native Americans is one of epic migrations, enduring resilience and cultural evolution. It begins tens of thousands of years ago, during a time when Earth's climate was vastly different, shaping landscapes and creating opportunities for human movement that would ultimately populate the Americas. Scientific research points to Africa as the cradle of humanity, where anatomically modern humans, Homo sapiens, emerged approximately 200,000 years ago. Over millennia, these early humans embarked on migrations that spread them across the globe. By around 50,000 years ago, some groups began moving through the Middle East and into Asia, driven by survival needs, curiosity, and environmental changes. It is from these ancient migrations that the ancestors of the first Native Americans began their journey. During the last ice age, roughly 30,000 to 12,000 years ago, vast glaciers covered significant portions of the northern hemisphere, locking up enormous amounts of water and lowering sea levels. This created a landmass known as Beringia, a natural bridge connecting northeastern Asia, modern-day Siberia, to northwestern North America, modern-day Alaska. This land bridge, stretching up to 1,000 miles wide, was not merely a barren expanse of ice, but a thriving ecological region with grasslands, rivers, and diverse fauna. Archaeological and genetic evidence suggests that small bands of hunter-gatherers, possibly following herds of large game like mammoths and bison, crossed Beringia during this period. These early travelers were likely equipped with basic tools, survival skills honed over generations, and a profound adaptability to harsh environments. This migration likely occurred over thousands of years, with some groups settling temporarily in Beringia itself before continuing their journey into uncharted territories. Modern genetic studies have shed light on the origins and movements of these pioneering populations. DNA evidence indicates that the ancestors of Native Americans were part of a distinct group that diverged from other East Asian populations approximately 25,000 years ago. These people lived in isolation in Beringia for thousands of years, a period known as the Beringian Standstill, before migrating deeper into the Americas. As the Ice Age ended and glaciers began to retreat around 15,000 years ago, pathways into the Americas opened. One such route was the ice-free corridor between the Laurentide and Cordilleran ice sheets, leading into the interior plains of North America. Another possibility is the coastal migration route, where groups traveled along the Pacific coastline, relying on marine resources and navigating by sea. Once in the Americas, these early migrants spread across the continents, adapting to diverse environments ranging from Arctic tundras to tropical rainforests. Over time, they developed rich and varied cultures, mastering agriculture, engineering, art, and astronomy. These pioneering peoples gave rise to the incredible civilizations we recognize today, from the mound builders of the Mississippi River Valley to the mighty empires of the Aztecs, Maya, and Inca. The journey of the first Native Americans is not only a tale of physical migration, but also one of ingenuity, resilience, and the unyielding human spirit. It reminds us of our shared origins and the deep connections that bind us to the natural world and each other. As we delve deeper into their story, we uncover lessons about survival, adaptation, and the profound ways in which people shape and are shaped by the lands they inhabit. This is just the beginning of an extraordinary chronicle, one that will explore the daily lives, spiritual beliefs, and lasting legacies of the first peoples of the Americas. Join us as we continue this journey into the heart of history and humanity. Native Americans held a deep respect for nature. They saw themselves as an integral part of the natural world, not separate from it. This profound connection influenced every aspect of their lives, from their daily routines to their spiritual practices. They believed that everything had a spirit, from the soaring eagle to the smallest ant. This belief in the interconnectedness of all living things fostered a sense of unity and responsibility towards the environment. The eagle, with its majestic flight, symbolized freedom and vision, while the ant, small yet industrious, represented diligence and community. They lived in harmony with the land, taking only what they needed and giving thanks for its bounty. Hunting and gathering were done with great care and respect, ensuring that the natural balance was maintained. During harvests, they celebrated with Thanksgiving ceremonies, expressing gratitude for the earth's generosity and abundance. Many tribes held ceremonies to honor the earth and sky. These rituals were not just acts of reverence, but also a means of seeking guidance and blessings from the spirits. The ceremonies often involved intricate dances, chants, and offerings, each element carrying deep symbolic meaning. They danced to the rhythm of drums, sang songs passed down through generations, and shared stories that taught important lessons about life, love, and courage. The drum beats echoed the heartbeat of the earth, while the songs and stories preserved their history, values, and wisdom, ensuring that each generation remained connected to their roots. Their spirituality was deeply intertwined with their respect for the natural world. Meditation and reflection in nature were common practices, allowing them to connect with the spirits and seek inner peace. Through these practices, they maintained a harmonious relationship with the earth, sky, and all living beings, embodying a way of life that honored the sacredness of the natural world. In the heart of Native American culture lies a treasure trove of stories, myths, and legends, whispers of the past that continue to shape the present. These narratives, passed down through countless generations, are more than mere entertainment. They are the threads that weave together the identity, beliefs, and values of indigenous peoples. By exploring these stories, we can glimpse the depth of their wisdom and the beauty of their connection to the natural world. For centuries, Native American tribes have relied on oral tradition to preserve their histories and teachings. These stories are not static. They evolve with each retelling, adapting to the needs of the time while maintaining their core essence. Elders, revered as the keepers of wisdom, are often the storytellers, ensuring that the lessons embedded within these tales endure. Oral storytelling is not merely a method of communication, but a sacred act. Through rhythm, voice, and gesture, storytellers bring legends to life, creating a shared experience that binds communities together. These moments are more than just exchanges of words. They are ceremonies that honor the past and prepare future generations to carry the flame forward. Native American myths and legends often revolve around creation, morality, and humanity's relationship with nature. Each story reflects the unique worldview of the tribe from which it originates. Yet they all share a profound reverence for life and the interconnectedness of all beings. One of the most enduring themes in Native American storytelling is the creation myth, explaining the origins of the world and its inhabitants. For example, the Iroquois have the story of Sky Woman, who fell from the heavens onto the back of a giant turtle, forming what we now call Turtle Island. This tale highlights the importance of cooperation and balance, values central to the Iroquois way of life. The Navajo creation story, or Din Bahan, takes listeners on a journey through multiple worlds, each teaching lessons about harmony, respect, and the dangers of imbalance. As the Navajo people emerge into the present world, they are reminded of their responsibilities to maintain harmony within themselves and with the environment. Another popular motif is the trickster figure, found in various forms across tribes. Coyote, raven, and hare are just a few examples of characters known for their cunning, humor, and unpredictability. These tales often serve as moral lessons, illustrating the consequences of greed, arrogance, or deceit, while celebrating resilience and cleverness. In one Lakota story, Iktomi the spider tries to outsmart others, but often ends up ensnaring himself in his own schemes. These tales, though humorous, encourage listeners to reflect on their own behavior and the importance of humility. Legends of heroes and their transformative journeys also play a vital role in Native American storytelling. These stories often involve young individuals overcoming trials to achieve wisdom, strength, or spiritual enlightenment. They inspire listeners to persevere in the face of adversity and honor the journey of self-discovery. The Hopi legend of Tawa, the sun spirit, and his journey to create the world is a powerful reminder of the responsibility humanity has to nurture and protect the earth. Similarly, the story of Quetzalcoatl among the Aztec people symbolizes sacrifice and the pursuit of knowledge. The timeless wisdom of Native American stories offers valuable insights for today's world. As we face challenges like environmental degradation and social disconnection, these tales remind us of the importance of living in harmony with nature and each other. They call us to listen, not just to the words of the elders, but to the whispers of the earth, wind, and water. These stories are not relics of the past, but living entities, evolving and breathing alongside the people who cherish them. By honoring and sharing them, we can help preserve the rich cultural heritage of Native American tribes while embracing the lessons they offer for a sustainable and compassionate future. Stories Whispered Through Time is more than a chapter title. It is an invitation to journey into the soul of Native American culture. Each myth, legend, and tale is a bridge connecting us to a deeper understanding of the human experience and our place within the world. As you explore these narratives, may you carry their lessons forward, becoming part of the eternal whisper that shapes generations to come. The 15th century marked a transformative period in the history of the Americas. This era witnessed the arrival of European explorers, whose voyages of discovery were driven by ambition, curiosity, and the promise of vast, untapped wealth. With their arrival, a new chapter began, one filled with exchange, conflict, and profound change. The encounter of worlds. European explorers, such as Christopher Columbus, set sail across the Atlantic Ocean, motivated by dreams of finding new trade routes and expanding their empires. When they landed on the shores of the Americas, they encountered thriving civilizations such as the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas, whose cultures and societies were rich, complex, and advanced in ways that astonished the newcomers. The arrival of the Europeans marked the beginning of what is often called the Columbian Exchange, a widespread transfer of goods, ideas, and populations between the Old World and the New World. For the Americas, this exchange brought horses, cattle, wheat, and technology previously unknown to the indigenous peoples. At the same time, the Europeans were introduced to crops such as maize, potatoes, and cacao, which would go on to transform diets and economies across Europe, Asia, and Africa. The impact of disease. However, the exchange was not without devastating consequences. Alongside the goods and ideas carried across the seas came diseases, smallpox, measles, and influenza, to which the indigenous populations had no immunity. These diseases swept through communities with staggering speed and lethality, decimating populations and unraveling the social fabric of many native societies. In some areas, entire villages were wiped out within a generation. Cultural interactions and conflicts. The meeting of these worlds also led to cultural exchanges and, at times, intense conflict. European settlers often sought to impose their religion, governance, and way of life on the indigenous peoples. This led to the displacement of native populations, the destruction of sacred traditions, and the creation of a new, often exploitative social hierarchy. Despite these challenges, indigenous peoples displayed remarkable resilience. They adapted to new realities, integrating European goods and technologies into their lives while preserving vital aspects of their cultural heritage. These interactions laid the groundwork for the diverse and dynamic societies that would emerge in the centuries to follow. The legacy of a new dawn. As the 15th century came to a close, the Americas stood on the brink of profound transformation. The arrival of European explorers was a catalyst for change, setting into motion forces that would reshape the continents politically, socially, and economically. Yet amidst the upheaval, the enduring spirit of the Americas, its people, landscapes, and cultures, remained a testament to resilience and adaptation. This chapter in history reminds us of the complexity of human interaction. It is a story of exploration and exploitation, of exchange and loss, and of the indomitable will to survive and thrive in the face of change. Stay tuned for more in-depth explorations of history, resilience, and culture on my YouTube channel. Let us uncover these stories together and reflect on the lessons they hold for us today. The arrival of Europeans in the Americas marked a profound turning point in the lives of Native American tribes. What had been centuries of rich cultural traditions, harmonious living with the land, and intricate social systems soon faced an unprecedented upheaval. The shadow of change loomed large, altering the course of history and leaving a legacy of conflict, hardship, and resilience. From the moment European settlers set foot on native lands, misunderstandings and conflicting worldviews paved the way for discord. The settlers, driven by a desire for expansion, wealth, and resources, saw the land as something to be claimed and controlled. For Native Americans, however, the land was sacred, an inseparable part of their identity, spiritual beliefs, and survival. This clash of ideologies soon turned to violence. Battles erupted as native tribes resisted the encroachment of settlers and the taking of their ancestral lands. Treaties were signed, often under duress or through deceit, and then frequently broken. Entire communities were displaced, forced to leave behind not only their homes, but also sacred sites and burial grounds. The infamous Trail of Tears is just one tragic example of this forced relocation, as thousands of Cherokee people were marched from their homelands to designated territories, suffering immense loss along the way. The introduction of European diseases brought further devastation. Smallpox, measles, and other illnesses spread rapidly among native populations, who had no immunity to these foreign ailments. Entire villages were wiped out, leading to a dramatic decline in population and a profound sense of grief and loss that still echoes through history. Beyond the physical hardships, the cultural impact of European colonization was equally devastating. Efforts to assimilate Native Americans into European ways of life often meant the suppression of their languages, traditions, and spiritual practices. Boarding schools were established to civilize Native children, where they were forbidden to speak their native languages or practice their customs. This cultural erasure left deep scars, both for individuals and entire communities. Yet, amidst these dark times, the resilience of Native American tribes shone through. They adapted to new circumstances, preserved their traditions in secret, and passed down their stories, crafts, and songs to future generations. Today, many Native communities are revitalizing their cultures, languages, and traditions, reclaiming their heritage with pride and determination. The shadow of change serves as a solemn reminder of the challenges faced by Native American tribes during this tumultuous period. It also underscores their enduring strength and the importance of honoring and preserving their stories. As we reflect on this history, we must also commit to supporting efforts to heal and rebuild what was lost, ensuring that the legacy of resilience is carried forward. This chapter, though heavy with sorrow, is also a testament to the unbreakable spirit of Native peoples. It reminds us that even in the darkest times, the human spirit can find ways to endure and thrive. The stories of survival and resurgence are as vital to this narrative as the tales of hardship, offering lessons for all of us about the power of perseverance and the importance of cultural preservation. Throughout history, Native American communities have faced unimaginable challenges. From forced displacement to cultural suppression, the hardships they endured could have extinguished their spirit. Yet despite the adversities, Native Americans never gave up. Their resilience became the cornerstone of their survival and the preservation of their traditions. The story of resilience begins with adaptation. When the U.S. government enacted policies like the Indian Removal Act of 1830, many tribes were forcibly relocated from their ancestral lands to unfamiliar territories. These relocations, often marked by harsh conditions and significant loss of life, could have led to cultural disintegration. Instead, Native Americans found ways to adapt. For example, the Cherokee people, who were forced along the Trail of Tears, rebuilt their communities in new lands, establishing schools, governments, and thriving cultural practices. Another testament to their resilience is the way Native Americans preserved their languages and traditions. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, government-run boarding schools aimed to assimilate Native children by erasing their cultural identities. These institutions prohibited students from speaking their languages or practicing their customs. However, elders and families in tribal communities fought back by teaching traditional knowledge in secret. Songs, dances, stories, and rituals were passed down, ensuring that cultural heritage would survive. The battle for sovereignty also demonstrates Native American determination. Tribes have worked tirelessly to assert their rights to self-governance and land. The Navajo Nation, for instance, not only maintained their governance structure, but also achieved significant victories in reclaiming land and resources. Their efforts inspired other tribes to pursue legal action and treaties to protect their sovereignty. Moreover, Native Americans embraced modern tools and technologies to strengthen their communities while honoring their traditions. Today, many tribes utilize digital platforms to share their languages, crafts, and histories with younger generations and global audiences. Initiatives like online language classes and social media campaigns celebrate Indigenous identity and educate the world about Native cultures. Despite enduring centuries of hardship, Native Americans have shown that resilience is more than survival. It is thriving against the odds. Their ability to adapt, preserve, and evolve ensures that their traditions will continue to flourish for generations to come. As we reflect on this legacy of resilience, it serves as a reminder of the strength and determination that lies at the heart of Native American communities. Their story is not just one of survival, but also of hope, persistence, and an unbreakable connection to their heritage. Today, Native American tribes across the United States are facing the critical task of preserving their cultural heritage. Despite centuries of disruption and forced assimilation, these tribes are determined to keep their traditions, languages, and arts alive for future generations. Through their unwavering efforts, they are ensuring that the vibrant legacies of their ancestors continue to flourish in the modern world. One of the most vital components of preserving Native American cultures is the revitalization of indigenous languages. Many tribes are working tirelessly to teach their languages to younger generations, often creating language immersion programs and utilizing modern technology to make learning accessible and engaging. These efforts are crucial in protecting the rich linguistic diversity of Native America, as many languages are at risk of disappearing entirely. By passing down their languages, Native Americans are not only preserving a means of communication, but also maintaining a unique worldview embedded in their language that shapes their identity and way of life. Equally important is the revival of traditional art forms that have been passed down for generations. From intricate beadwork and pottery to storytelling and dance, these art forms hold immense cultural significance. Tribes are re-establishing their artistic traditions through workshops, cultural events, and community projects, encouraging younger members to reconnect with their heritage. These creative expressions are not just about preserving the past, but also about adapting those traditions for contemporary audiences. Through art, Native American communities are able to share their stories and express their perspectives, offering the world a window into their rich history and values. Storytelling remains one of the most powerful tools in preserving Native American culture. Elders pass down tales of creation, heroism, and survival, often intertwining history with moral teachings. These stories, shared around campfires or during community gatherings, are an essential part of maintaining cultural continuity. In the digital age, many tribes have turned to modern platforms, including social media and YouTube, to share their stories with the world. This has allowed them to reach a broader audience and foster a deeper understanding of their cultures beyond the confines of their communities. In addition to language, art, and stories, many tribes are working to preserve traditional practices related to food, medicine, and spiritual beliefs. Reviving ancient farming techniques, foraging practices, and herbal medicine knowledge ensures the survival of sacred traditions tied to the land. Many Native American communities are also embracing sustainable practices that reflect their ancestral respect for nature, demonstrating that keeping traditions alive is also an important way to contribute to environmental stewardship. The determination of Native American tribes to preserve their heritage is an inspiring testament to resilience and cultural pride. Through education, artistic expression, and community engagement, these efforts ensure that Native American cultures will continue to thrive for generations to come. As they pass on their traditions, they not only honor their ancestors, but also pave the way for future generations to live in harmony with their rich cultural legacy. On my channel, we'll explore these incredible efforts, showcasing the strength and dedication of Native American communities in keeping their traditions alive. Stay tuned for more as we dive deeper into the stories, art, and cultures that continue to shape the future of this beautiful heritage. The story of Native Americans is an important part of American history. It is a tale that spans centuries, filled with rich traditions, profound wisdom, and a deep connection to the land. From the earliest days of their ancestors to the present, Native Americans have woven a narrative that is both unique and universal. It is a story of strength, resilience, and the enduring power of culture. Despite facing numerous challenges and adversities, Native American communities have preserved their heritage and passed down their customs and stories through generations. Their dances, songs, and crafts are not just artistic expressions, but are imbued with meaning and history. By learning about their past, we can gain a deeper understanding of the rich tapestry of cultures that make up our nation. Museums and educational workshops offer glimpses into their world, showcasing artifacts and reenactments that bring history to life. These experiences allow us to appreciate the depth and complexity of Native American cultures. As we listen to their stories and learn from their wisdom, we can work together to build a future where all cultures are respected and celebrated. Community events and cultural festivals provide opportunities for people of all backgrounds to come together, share, and learn from one another. These gatherings are a testament to the enduring spirit of unity and mutual respect. Theirs is a story for all time, a reminder of the importance of understanding and appreciating the diverse cultures that make up our world. By honoring their legacy, we not only preserve their history, but also enrich our own lives. The lessons we learn from Native American cultures can guide us in creating a more inclusive and harmonious society. Their story is a beacon of hope, resilience, and the beauty of cultural diversity. As we come to the end of our journey, the story of Native Americans is an intricate tapestry of resilience, ingenuity, and a profound connection to the land that spans thousands of years. From the earliest origins of Native American culture, where ancient ancestors navigated vast landscapes and forged enduring societies, to the heart-wrenching era of colonization, which brought unprecedented challenges, their history is both inspiring and sobering. The origins of Native American culture are a testament to the human spirit's adaptability and creativity. Long before the arrival of Europeans, indigenous peoples cultivated advanced agricultural techniques, developed complex societal structures, and expressed themselves through rich traditions of art, language, and spirituality. These communities thrived across diverse environments, from the Arctic tundra to the Great Plains, the eastern woodlands, and the deserts of the Southwest. Their profound knowledge of ecology and sustainable living continues to offer lessons in environmental stewardship today. Yet, the devastating impact of colonization cannot be overlooked. The arrival of European settlers marked the beginning of centuries of upheaval, as indigenous populations faced land dispossession, forced assimilation, and systemic oppression. Entire communities were decimated by violence and diseases introduced by colonizers, while policies like the Indian Removal Act and the establishment of boarding schools sought to erase Native identities. Despite these adversities, Native Americans have demonstrated remarkable resilience, preserving their cultures, languages, and traditions against all odds. In uncovering these histories, we honor the voices of those who came before us and recognize the importance of indigenous perspectives in shaping our understanding of the past. Native American history is not merely a narrative of loss, it is also a story of endurance, renewal, and the unbreakable connection between people and place. As we conclude this exploration, let us carry forward the lessons of this untold history. Acknowledging the injustices of the past is a critical step toward reconciliation and empowerment. By amplifying Native voices and celebrating their contributions, we can work together to build a future rooted in respect, equity, and understanding. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the untold history of Native Americans. If this chapter has resonated with you, consider supporting Indigenous-led initiatives and continuing to learn about the diverse cultures and experiences that make up this vital part of our shared heritage. Together, we can honor the past while shaping a more inclusive and compassionate future.